everyone. Thank you for joining us for this very special edition of Business Over Coffee International Share TV. We're so very happy to be here today. So very happy to be here today. I am your guest host, Patrina Singletary. I am the Nashville Regional Director for Business Over Coffee International, and I'm so happy to be home with Business Over Coffee International headquarters today in Memphis, Tennessee. All right, before we begin, I'd like to first welcome the live audience in the studio today, as well as the virtual audience. And I'm going to give you a couple of Twitter hashtags and how you can kind of reach out to us and be interactive with us as we go along with the interview. So let's do that really quickly. It is at BO Coffee. Again, at BO Coffee, as well as hashtag BOCI. Again, hashtag BOCI. And then we have hashtag networking. Hashtag networking. And we also have publishing, hashtag publishing. Again, hashtag publishing. And then finally, we have hashtag author. Hashtag author. So be sure to join us on Twitter and be interactive with us. Send us your questions and your comments. We would love to hear from you. Also, we would like to, before we begin, thank our sponsors for sponsoring the show on today. We're so very grateful to have sponsors. And if you are interested in sponsorship, be sure to contact our offices. So, sponsors for today are Patty Cake. Patty Cake Bakery, I love that. They can be reached at www.pattycakebakery.com. Again, that's www.pattycakebakery.com. And you gotta think of this every time. So, also we have Better Life, Better Coffee.
Yes.
Okay, was actually here with samples under that. And that is www.betterlifebettercoffee.com. Again, that's www.betterlife.bettercoffee.com. And I can attest to that. Good stuff. Really good stuff. Okay? And last but not least, we have Miss Delmar Johnson with Delmar Johnson Enterprises. And she can be reached at www.delmarjohnson.com. Again, that's www.delmarjohnson.com. And Delmar's got some exciting things going on right about now. She has a fantastic event that's coming up on September 28th at National College of Business and Technology, the Memphis campus. It's called the Women's Summit, the Now Summit. And I tell you, it's going to be fantastic. You do not want to miss it. Again, that is September 28th, Saturday, September 28th, at National College of Business and Technology, the Memphis campus. And we will have more information about that on our website at businessovercoffee.biz. So be sure and check that out, okay? Now, we're going to go right into the show. We have a dynamic, and I do mean dynamic, author on the show with us today. Her name is Miss Grace Major, and we're going to go ahead and welcome her. Welcome, Grace. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
We're so happy to have you here. And you're one of our own, our very own, Business Over Coffee members, professional members. So we're so very happy to have you. And first and foremost, Grace, I happen to know this, and I'm going to tell the viewing audience about this, that you are a former veteran, but you are you're a veteran, a retired veteran. So we thank you for your service. We really appreciate everything that you do.
Yes.
Honors due. Okay? And we are going to talk about how you actually transitioned from military to an entrepreneur. And you also wrote a book about it, Hang Up the Uniform. Hang Up the Uniform. I love that. And so we're going to talk about your transition, because I'm assuming this book is based upon your transition, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Yes,
so let's
it
talk
is.
about that.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about the book and how this all came into play?
Yes, thank you for having me. First
You're
of all,
very
I
welcome.
appreciate it. I'm
Mhm.
honored. My book basically tells the story of how a veteran transitions out of uniform
Mhm.
into their own business.
Yes.
Someone asked me a question one time,
Mhm.
why would a veteran, what do you bring? It was like, what skills do you bring for business ownership?
Oh my gosh.
All you do is follow orders.
Wow.
Based on that comment, I thought,
Mhm.
wow, there's a lack of education on what veterans really bring to businesses, and we need to help people to understand. First person I can think of that's a well-known veteran in this area that's operating a very significant business is Fred Smith.
Yes.
People don't think of
Most
that.
definitely.
He got his start as a veteran. So
did.
when you ask the
Mhm.
question, why would a veteran, what do you bring?
Mhm.
We have skill sets that the government, through our service to our country,
Mhm.
made sure that we were able to put in one basket. When we walk out of the door from the military, we're taking those skill sets with us.
Right.
So My book talks about a lot of the things that we have to go through as veterans when we're considering entrepreneurship.
Sure.
The reason why that's important is when we are transitioning, we are not spoken to and taught how to be entrepreneurs. That's
Right.
not something that the military actually speaks about in our transitional classes.
Mhm.
Our classes normally cover things that you would do to work for corporate America
Oh,
or
yeah.
GS work or government work. So
Mhm.
based on my experience of starting my business, my husband and I own a business in Bartlett, Tennessee, and we
Mhm.
both are veterans.
Okay.
We realized that our skills that we learned while we were in the military
Mhm.
is what really keeps our business afloat. We have those skill sets that we take the no and we keep going right on to the next step.
There you go.
We understand that it's not going to be easy,
Mhm.
but it will be worth it.
Right.
We understand how to find our resources that may not be readily available.
Sure.
So there are many skill sets, and I can't go through them all here in this short interview.
Right.
But there are many skill sets, and my book is designed to help veterans
Mhm.
understand, one, you have those skill sets.
Right.
Two, how to put them to use for your own business.
Mhm.
And it was my way to continue to serve the veterans. Veterans
Yes.
have served and served and
Yes,
served,
they
and
have.
this is my way
Mhm.
of giving back to my fellow veterans.
That's wonderful.
As I was going through the process, I had fellow veterans keep asking me, well, how did you find that, Grace? Oh, well, how did you know about that? Or where did you go to get that information? So after hearing that so many times, I thought, you know what? That's another reason for me to write a book.
There you
So
go.
that's how we got to Hang Up the Uniform, which bridges the gap between military service and business ownership.
Wonderful. That's fantastic. And you know, the story that you just told, that was hurtful. Hurtful, but that's a lot of times out of the hurt. It will push you to where you
Mhm.
need to be, or to,
Yes.
to your purpose, so to speak.
Right.
And, you know, and I hate that happened to you, but it had to. It had to get you where you are now. And also, you were speaking about the fact that some of the challenges that you face in finding employment is pretty similar to some of the civilian problems that we have right about now, the transitioning
Exactly.
aspect and things of that nature. So it's not
Exactly.
too many differences there.
Right.
But I want to take some questions, because I think that we've got some questions really quick, and I'll talk a little bit more about
Okay,
that. So do we
great.
have any questions from the live audience here? Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken what you've done in the book and actually even gone pre-military to like youngsters who are growing up now and worrying about what they're gonna be when they grow up and what they're gonna do? I mean, it seems to me that those skill sets that you're using for veterans to get into their own business are the
Exactly.
very same things that if they know proactively,
Mhm.
they can start to embrace them.
Wow, I love that concept. To answer your question, I have not. I love that idea, though. That is
Right.
something that I need to add to my basket, because I do work with youth and teens with public speaking, so that is actually something I can add as a means. So thank you, Shelley. I
Yes,
appreciate
indeed.
that.
Thank you so very much, Shelley. Was there anyone
Awesome.
else at this point?
Good idea.
Okay. All right. And don't forget, virtual audience, you can chime in as well. You know, if you have any questions about what we're discussing with Ms. Grace Major as it pertains to her book, Hang Up the Uniform, and Transitioning Skills as a Whole, we'll be more than happy to get that in. So.
Where do we find it?
Okay, oh, I'm sorry, and then too, yeah, Grace, Sherry's so very helpful, I love Sherry. Grace Major at Grace Major is where you can definitely get in contact with her. And on Facebook, is that C Grace or
My
C Grace?
Twitter is C Grace.
Okay.
C Grace Major.
Sure.
And my Facebook is also C Grace Major, because Grace
Mhm.
Major was already taken. Can you believe that?
Uh-oh.
And to order the book, you can go to the website, Hang Up the Uniform.
Mhm.
And one of the interesting things about ordering this book, your order will automatically have a donation made to the Wounded Warrior. I believe in that program. So
Fantastic. Yes,
that
indeed.
is my way to help the community also give back to the veterans. So when you make a purchase, a donation is automatically made to the Wounded Warrior Project. Way to serve.
Love that, love that. Now tell us a little bit about the youth program that you said that you have already, or you're getting
Right.
ready to establish, or?
Right, have that
Okay,
already,
so-
yes. I have a program that I work with youth and teens in public speaking. I'm a Toastmaster, and Toastmasters International work with adults that help adults to become comfortable with public speaking. One of the things I kept hearing from fellow adults was, wow, children could really use this, or I wish I had got this information earlier in life. So I came up with the idea to offer the teaching and training to youth and teens to help with their public speaking skills. It is set up similar to a Toastmasters organization, but I actually make it a little bit, want me to take this? Oh, this is for you.
Okay, well, I think she was handing it to you actually, but I'll
Pass
take
the
it.
buck, pass the
There you
buck.
go.
But that's what I work with the youth and teens to help them with their public speaking skills, and we have it set up where we work with them online for 8 sessions, and then we move them into phase B, into the classroom environment, because the only thing with public speaking, the only way you get better is to actually do it. So I teach you the basics online, then we get you in an environment that helps you to be comfortable with speaking before an audience, and then you're able to incorporate those skill sets that you have learned online. So it's a wonderful program, so thank you for
Yeah,
asking.
you're very welcome. Thank you so very much, Greg. Yeah, I'm doing this. Thank you so very much, Greg, for being with us on today. We
Thank you.
certainly
My
appreciate
honor.
it.
Thank you.
And you've got to come back because it's so very interesting what you're doing, and we want to learn more about that. So again, thank you. And listening audience, our viewing audience, thank you for joining us on today, because we are bringing everyone together. And this is